Today, once more, they will replenish themselves, cheat death again, through the power of their source.
Matt Stone.
180degreehealth.com.
Hey, this is Matt from 180 Degree Health, and today I really did want to do a health-related video, but I just can't bring myself to do it. Yesterday was the 4th of July, and I'm in Nevada, where shooting fireworks is completely outlawed. Prostitution and gambling? Thumbs up. Fireworks? Not so much. Anyways, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit bummed that I couldn't enjoy the whole firework tradition. But I was doing some reminiscing yesterday throughout the day about some of the firework incidents that I've, basically been involved in over the years. And I thought back to when I was, I think, 13, 7th grade. We went over to my friend Scott's house. He was having a 4th of July party. And I brought a bunch of fireworks over. And, this is more of a confession here, 21 years later. And I brought all these fireworks over, and I had these huge rockets, and I also had a fly rod case, which sounds kind of peculiar, but it's a long, like, aluminum tube, maybe 4.5 feet long. It's closed at one end and it's open at the other. It makes an incredible rocket launcher. So we had these big, big rockets, and we got over there and took one of those rockets and shoved it down in the tube and aimed it across the street at the house across the street. And Scott's sister was like helping me aim the thing, and everybody was on board. There was maybe a dozen of us there, and we're getting all excited to launch this rocket at the neighbor's house. So we see the thing comes flying out of the tube, and it's going, screaming 100 miles an hour plus on the way over to the neighbor's house, and it's a direct hit, and it looks like it hits the front door, and we see a couple of little sparks, and then the rocket doesn't explode. We're expecting it to sort of blow up, or report, they call it, or whatever, in firework-ese, into the bushes. But we didn't see anything. We're like, oh man, that was lame. Like, we hit the house perfectly, but then it didn't blow up like it's supposed to. A few minutes later, we see the neighbor that lives across the street coming outside of his house, and we all, we run across, in back of the house, and, going through the back door. And we're all sitting around, and then a few minutes later, we hear the, and we're like, oh shit, here it comes. A couple minutes after that, Scott's dad comes back and Scott, and we're really feeling like we're screwed now. So Scott goes to the front door. He's gone for quite a while. I mean, we were all back there sweating bullets. It was maybe 5 minutes. He comes back and he's like, just beet red. He's laughing like crazy, trying to keep his laughter down, and he's just about to explode with all this laughter. And then he goes on to tell us what he just saw. And what happened is the neighbor was a British dude, and he came over, and we actually found out what really happened to that rocket. And the neighbor, Mr. Perriton, I think his name was, came over and said, well, I was sitting in my living room when suddenly a rocket came flying through the window, went all the way to the rear of the house, exploded on the carpet, and caught the draperies on fire. Yeah, so anyway, he comes back and Scott tells us this hilarious story. And what Scott did is he told this really like top of his head devious story, saying, well, this kid named Mike, he came down the street on his bike with a bunch of fireworks, and my big bunch of fireworks were right on the front porch, and it had the actual rockets in it that went into his house. I mean, the most convincing evidence ever. And he said, yeah, he came down, he saw us shooting fireworks, so he, got these rockets out and shot it over at the house, and we were telling him not to, and like, what are you doing, dude? And then it hit the house, and we saw it hit the house, so he just took off on his bike. He didn't even take his fireworks with him. He just left them right here. So, although that may sound like a ridiculous story, Scott was a pretty smart little kid. And, yeah, I mean, it totally worked. We didn't get in any trouble over that. So I feel the need to confess on this 4th of July about this heinous crime that I was involved with. My deepest, sincerest apologies to Mr. Perriton.
Subscribe to the 180 Degree Health channel now, or you will be abducted by lesbian Nazi hookers from outer space and forced into a weight loss program.
It doesn't matter.
you had for lunch. Just eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. Open up your mouth and feed it.